time to leave is now.
The advice has been for many months now, please leave.
Let's turn to West Asia now, where Benjamin Netanyahu faces a familiar choice: ceasefire or all-out war. He chose war last year and looks like he's choosing the same again. Israel has launched another round of strikes on Lebanon. Reports say 72 people were killed, which brings the total death toll to more than 620. This is how it started in Gaza too. First, relentless aerial bombardment and then a ground offensive. Israel's army chief has already hinted at it.
You hear the jets overhead. We have been striking all day. This is both to prepare the ground for your possible entry and to continue degrading Hezbollah. Today, Hezbollah expanded its range of fire, and later today, they will receive a very strong response. Prepare yourselves.
Hezbollah is also hitting back. They have fired dozens of rockets at Israel. They also targeted Israel's spy agency, Mossad, but the damage is limited. Only 2 injuries have been reported so far. If there is an all-out war, that would obviously change. Hezbollah claims to have 100,000 fighters, 1 lakh fighters. They also have 150,000 rockets, plus Iranian ballistic missiles. Most of this arsenal is stored underground. Hezbollah has also built a network of tunnels to move around and communicate. Basically, they've been preparing for this, for an assault from Israel. We saw that in 2006 as well. Israel and Lebanon fought a 34-day war in 2006, and Hezbollah fighters held on for a ceasefire. In other words, Israel could not win that war. But the cost of such a face-off is huge. Nearly 1 million Lebanese were displaced in 2006. The war cost them $2.8 billion. It cost Israel $1.6 billion. And this time, even Iran may join in. They already have a score to settle with Israel, and now's the perfect time. Israel is politically isolated. It is also fighting a two-front war. Tehran's foreign minister has already issued a warning.
Iran firmly upholds its inherent right to defend its vital interests. And finally, Iran will not remain indifferent in case of a full-scale war in Lebanon. We stand with the people of Lebanon with all means.
2006 was bad, 2024 could be worse, which is why the world is calling for de-escalation. The US and France are pushing a 21-day ceasefire deal, sort of like a temporary truce. The hope is to use this period to figure out something permanent, to diffuse the tensions. Around 12 countries are supporting the ceasefire.
We put out a statement for a 21-day ceasefire along the Israeli-Lebanese border. We were able to generate significant support from Europe as well as the Arab nations. It's important this war not widen.
We must not. We cannot have a war in Lebanon. There cannot be a war in Lebanon. This is why we urge Israel to cease this escalation in Lebanon, and we urge Hezbollah to cease the missile launches to Israel.
There's one problem, though. This isn't binding on Israel. It's just a joint statement by 12 countries. If you're expecting Israel to abide by that, you clearly do not know Netanyahu. So what about a binding statement? Maybe something from the United Nations Security Council. How about that? Well, France and Britain did propose that, but the US shot it down. They had some issues with the wording of the proposal, so Washington killed it. As for this new proposal, Israel has already rejected it. Look at what their foreign minister said, and I'm quoting, "There will be no ceasefire in the north. We will continue to fight against the terrorist organization Hezbollah." It's funny how he specified the north. It's not like Israel is championing a ceasefire in the south, or anywhere, in fact. They have ignored every single stakeholder in this war. The United Nations, the Arab states, their own allies and partners, everyone is asking Israel to stop now, yet Netanyahu is doing the opposite. So a lot of countries are preparing for the worst. They're asking citizens to leave Lebanon. The US and Britain have deployed troops to the region. They say it's to help with evacuations. Turkey is preparing to do the same. So are India and Australia. The Indian embassy in Beirut has issued 3 advisories in 48 hours. 3 advisories in 48 hours. The latest one is asking Indians to leave Lebanon immediately. China too has done the same. So none of the signs are good for the world. But for Netanyahu, they're great. This is exactly what he wants. His war in Gaza is not popular among Israelis, but a war with Hezbollah would be popular. You see, 70,000 Israelis have been displaced from the northern parts of Israel, from northern Israel, and they can only return if Hezbollah is quiet. So most Israelis support a war in the north. We'll have more clarity in the coming days. Netanyahu has arrived in New York. He is expected to address the UN General Assembly on Friday. Even in peacetime, his speeches are dramatic, so expect something over the top. But today, it was Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas's turn. He is 88 years old, but at the United Nations General Assembly, he was animated and defiant. Abbas accused Israel of carrying out a genocide. He also vowed that Palestinians would never leave their land.
We will not leave. We will not leave. We will not leave. Palestine is our homeland. It is the land of our fathers, our grandfathers. It will remain ours. And if anyone were to leave, it would be the occupying usurpers.
Netanyahu is in the same city as his allies and rivals. It's a great chance for a diplomatic solution to sit down and talk things out. But frankly, there is little hope. Temperatures are running very high at the moment, so diplomacy is certainly not on Netanyahu's mind. Nonetheless, we'll be tracking these things closely for you.